One of the most important concepts in the earth element, which is very relevant to all of the herbs, is the question of dampness and what dampness actually is. The earth elements, its climatic influence is dampness, and the late summer is characterized by the greatest humidity, a kind of hanging moisture in the air and in everything that the air touches. And humidity, when it goes a little too far, it can be a little bit tiresome and cause a certain bogging down. So there are a lot of herbs that are earth herbs that address the issue of dampness and transforming dampness. We can name Bai Zhu Atractylodes as one of the foremost herbs that is a spleen chi tonic and a transformation of dampness. Before focusing on the Bai Zhu Atractylodes, though, I want to put this into a clear context, because when we are speaking of dampness, it's not a terrible thing. It's not some kind of detritus or something in the body. When it goes too far and we bog down, yes. But if we don't have enough, this is just as much trouble, only of a different kind. Imagine eating only dry cereal and toast with nothing on it. Imagine all of your food having been left out in the hot sun long enough to desiccate, and then you need to eat that. It will sit in your stomach like small triangular bits and just be like, oh. Dampness is what allows our body to go, aw. Dampness is the cuddle in life. Dampness is what makes hugs really good. The ability of our flesh to adapt to other flesh. That's a description of a great hug. It's also a description of great digestion. The ability of our flesh to adapt to other flesh. To kind of, to behave in the way that the best sofas behave. Where you sink in and it's soft and there's a kind of feeling of easiness and comfort. So we love dampness. It's part of why we crave sugar. It's part of why we crave sweets. We want dampness. We want something that will make life and our innards feel more like a really good sofa. We want to feel cuddled. We want to feel comfortable and contented. Now, that is a good thing. Those are good feelings. We want that. When the house is on fire and we're running from a saber-toothed tiger and really need to take action, that's not the best time to wolf down the sweets and the other, in order to say, they're there now. Like that lovely meme of the dog whose house is on fire saying, this is fine. That dog is probably drinking hot cocoa or something like that. Sweet. There's a sweet, like too much sweet makes a kind of dull complacency. Too much dampness makes everything just sog down and stay the same. So we need a kind of balance here. Another note, in order to be clear about dampness and about the nature of Bai Zhu Atractylodes, it is a transform dampness herb. This is very different than the category of drain dampness herbs. Those herbs work through the triple heater by opening the irrigation ditches and sluiceways. as is the description of Suen chapter 8's description of the role of the triple heater as it masters the irrigation ditches and the sluiceways so that fluid metabolism takes place properly. If a lot of fluid is building up, we use drain dampness herbs to clear out excess fluid. This does have a result of being a relief to the spleen, because then it doesn't have to deal with it. The triple heater cleared it out. So we have herbs like Fuling Poria, which is a drain dampness herb. It opens the irrigation ditches and sluiceways and you pee that stuff out. That's a triple heater thing to do, to clear it so that you can pee it on out. And it is considered a spleen chi tonic. Why? Because, oh my God, the spleen has so much more energy if it doesn't have to deal with all this wet glop everywhere. Yeah. It's like the last phase of the washing machine. If that phase breaks and you have to hang up this really soggy laundry, it's so different than if it just like clears out the excess fluid. It's the same thing for the spleen and the digestive system. When the triple heater, when the Fuling Poria is clearing just the extra fluid out of the digestion, the spleen isn't hanging up wet laundry. It's like, okay, we'll work with this damp laundry and do what we're doing with this damp stuff. That's good. It's still workable. It's still malleable. It's still soft. I'll mention briefly, there's also the category damp heat and like Huang Chin Scoot, for example. When we say damp heat, what we actually mean is dirty, festering, toxic stuff. That's like, it's when it goes too far, it's actually sepsis. It often has to do with bacterial infection, either in even in your blood, where all those microbes are basically pooping in your bloodstream and you're like, so the damp heat herbs are working with kind of toxic festering heat. That is more like Huang Chin Scoot and all of its friends. That's not Bai Zhu Atractylodes. Bai Zhu Atractylodes transform damp is about everything in your body and in your life that would be nourishment if you had the energy to take the next step with it. So for instance, all of the unwashed dishes in your sink are dampness. All of the unlaundered clothing in your closet floor is dampness. You don't want to drain that out. It's not like the boxes from the Chinese takeout and the pizza and all the National Geographics that your housemate left somewhere. That's drain dampness. Just get it out of the house so that you can work with what's there. Transformed dampness is everything in your body that could be nourishment if you had the energy to take it to the next stage. That if you don't take it to the next stage, it's just weight. It's just blah feeling. It's just like, it does cause whininess. Whininess is a symptom of really being clear about what needs to happen next and just being too tired to do it. I need to go to the store and get some pie crust because I have all these apples that are overripe and I need to make Bai Zhu is perfect for that. For the I'm too tired to do the work that will bring me the nourishment, that will bring me the energy for the next task that I need to do. It's magnificent because it doesn't just, this is an important thing about herbs, it doesn't just tonify chi with the one hand and transform damp like two separate things. No, it's tonify chi for the sake of transforming damp, and it's also transforming damp for the sake of tonifying chi. They're not two separate functions. When you see herb functions that are, it does this and this and this, it's not like she's a carpenter and also an airline pilot. It's like she's funny and informative. It's simultaneous. It's one thing. So Bai Zhu Atractylodes is getting there into your body and simultaneously looking at where's the gook that's actually really good stuff if I just, whipped it up in a souffle and now it's dinner. And where's the energy that can be earmarked to work with that gook that can become something that will give me more energy? It takes a downward spiral of and turns it into an upward spiral of productivity and completion of cycles of nourishment. I think a lot of us could use that in late summer, especially.